Have you felt it? Do you understand? Can you see it?
All right, so this song is
Large Throbbing Positive Mindset.
yeah, and the working title is
Fat Chest Striations.
I kind of wanted to keep that one like the same, but I'm like I don't think people really know what a chest striation is. And
No,
I don't have them. So
I had to look it up when you told me the first time. And I was like, I think
oh, sick, dude. Looks like a bunch of cables going across someone's chest. And then I remember I threw that voice in there, though.
oh yeah.
And we added this little yell, which was sick.
If we're breaking down this part right now, we had that 808 thing originally, and I remember I wanted to make it more poppy or like kind of jumpy. So there's a lot of weird sounds that went into this. There's one I remember I took actually like I found a loop of like bird sounds, and I took the bird sounds and made this like I think they're actually in
Yeah.
that
Are they in the piano plugs? It sounds like a fresh morning
like
cup of coffee, dude.
so there's this little pad that got so jacked up with let's see here what
Oh my god, that's the original.
so we had this like pad and basically threw it through spectral gate and
Little Alter Boy, which is the greatest plugin ever made.
so that's the start of the sound. I think that's what kind of inspired
Yes.
the piano plucks, because I was like, this already sounds like it has a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
A lot of the guitar leads, we had the weird way of recording it where it would be, we would play it slower.
Like
Yeah,
half
like-
speed, right?
The guitar leads would be like half speed, speed them up, and then I think most of them had the same kind of spectral gate effect on it.
It adds the vibrato that I put in it, like speeds it up super fast, which makes it sound super interesting to me. But that was when I knew I loved this song, was when we made that lead. I was like, this sounds fresh to me.
It sounds like some big like some EDM
Like
anthem.
Avicii, yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Some, like, Avicii style.
You
stuff.
added that huge like rolling bass in there. It was just like, yeah. When I heard this, I was like, we got a fucking hit, dude. This is fantastic.
And then what I loved about this pre-chorus is it completely changes up to a clean vocal, and then we had this vocoder, which I think I added the vocoder later on. Yeah, we had the part here, and I was like, I just keep hearing this like vocoder sound and put it in real quick.
Have you felt it? Do you understand? Can you see it?
God, I love vocals.
To the cracks in my head, cracks in my lenses, just to try and see. But I know you. Maybe no matter what.
This is just
wonder
straight plain vocal.
if I've got enough. I'm still on the
And then we added a couple altar boys.
edge. Was always stuck in my head. 'Cause I'm and I think it's a waste of time to always be stuck underneath my mind.
I think what that does in my mind is like it adds like a lot of power to your voice, to my voice, and I felt like it just needed a little extra push on the chorus, and a little bit of ear candy too.
Also, I like the syrupiness of like the, I don't know how to describe it, but like you get like this weird squishy sound out of Harmony Engine. It's like the weirdest way to describe it.
I felt like the bell of the ball for the chorus instrumental is that pluck sound that we made.
And that, I think that came over from definitely from after that guitar lead was in there. The guitar ballin' lead. Like it sounds so like baby there. And then basically just threw a lot of distortion and kind of I don't know, excited the whole part.
Distortion helps it cut through the mix a lot better, but I love the way that it plays that lead bass, plays with the guitar specifically.
I feel like the choruses on this album never had a lot of, I don't know, compared to other stuff, that I think they stood on their own with how they were written, because if you listen to it, there's really not anything other than the vocal effects and that lead going, that little synth bell lead that we played, and then there's electronic hi-hats in it. And somehow the project is still 124 files. I don't know how, or 124 tracks. But the chorus had like little to nothing, but still sounded huge. It's probably, well, we did have the bass, some bass patches that we made.
That was a new thing for this record, where I feel like in Eggy we had an 808 underneath the bass, so it was like acoustic bass, and then the sub end was 808. But what this one we did is we took that even further. What we did was, I need to like make hand signals, but we added that. So you have like right in the middle, you have like acoustic bass here, and then the sub bass down here. And then what we did in a lot of these songs was we had like a low mid-range bass that was popped out left and right, which is this one, I believe. We have that, then we have the 808 there, and then the acoustic bass. Oftentimes, I think most of the time, I get really bored of my voice after one verse, and I was like, dude, we just need someone whose voice sounds so different than mine. And so I was just looking through Spotify, and I found her and was like, oh, her voice would be perfect for this part. And like I kept hearing her voice like in my head when I would listen to this part, and it was so easy. I was like, yeah, like do whatever you want here. And it was the first take she sent back. I was like, yep, that's it. Thank you. It was like so easy. She crushed her part. Do we put vocoder on her too?
Yes.
I can't put the words of feeling, but I know it's always there. So I stay inside my head and I wonder if they care.
There's something new. Yeah, there's something new that comes
No
in.
matter what, wonder if I've got enough.
We
I'm still
blended
on the
her
race.
voice and my voice on this one, which
Yeah.
I think adds like a nice little element to keep the song like fresh.
Yeah, but in this ending part, I split her and Johnny off to like sides a little bit. It was like maybe 10 left, 10 right, just to create space.
Have you felt it? Do you understand? Can you see it?
The bridge
Yeah.
was a bitch.
Oh yeah,
It was hard to get right, but I wanted like another kind of like. Well, I was just listening to the Doom soundtrack, and I was like, "Will, can we please like do something similar, bro? Please."
Did we have Vincenzo help with this one?
Yeah, young Vincenzo.
Young Vincenzo.
It
This
started with the.
dude always got. And then we had this like.
I wanted to do the triplet time too, because I felt like that just like really added some variation to the song. Yeah, we had that
It
hit.
just-
the
Oh, and there's I was like, I can't. It's definitely not just the guitars. There's this clean guitar that moves it over, and I think, is there a tempo change for it too?
yeah, big one.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on here. So that
Yeah, it's
clean
like-
guitar.
And something we did a lot in this album that I feel like is kind of really new for Bilmuri is we took the guitars that are usually in drop D and we dropped them down a full octave.
Yeah.
And then we took like kind of like really aggressive like bass sub samples and layered them underneath the guitars. And that's like what we're doing on the.
And I think so. This stuff was done with I think it was the Gojira plugin, and they have an octave pedal in there that just is wild. So like Now you take all of the normal crazy stuff and that we're doing to like mess up audio files, and then you're throwing it through like their amp sim to get this like wild pitch effect. So I'll play it going into. You hear this guitar going up.
It sounds so cool.
So that's just the basic like bass and everything that in the guitars that are going on. But these are the synths that we added in, which I believe these were a mixture of like
Synth doom.
I think they're a mixture of Splice and Serum presets that we messed around and kind of altered to what we wanted. And this synth also went through the guitar amp too, for this pedal up here, I believe.
That just gives it like some sub rhythm.
And here we'll play it all together.
I felt like another cool thing we did there was we had 2 different kick drums. So we had like a big kick that's just going poof, poof, poof. But then we had like a kick drum we shaved some of the sub end off that's going. I remember we made this was our first like of the really aggressive like detuned stuff that we made.
Yes.
And it was just like we were like messing around with the sound and I was like, this is the future, dude. This sounds so good.
Yeah.
And we just kind of applied that to different areas of the album.
And I think
It's so fun to break that down though.
yeah.